How often should you clean your smartphone screen? It's a good idea to clean your smartphone screen daily using a microfiber cloth. How did you know about the surprise party? I overheard some of our friends talking about it accidentally. How strange does that building's architecture appear to you? The building's architecture is very unusual, making it quite strange to look at. How does GPS determine your location? GPS uses signals from satellites to calculate the distance between your device and multiple satellites, allowing it to triangulate your position. How come you're not wearing your usual glasses? I lost them, so I'm wearing a spare pair for now. How quickly does it take for an ice cube to melt in room temperature? An ice cube usually melts within 15 to 20 minutes in room temperature. How could I increase the battery life on my phone? You could lower the screen brightness and close unused apps. How can I improve my memory? You can improve memory by getting enough sleep, staying mentally active, and practicing techniques like visualization and association. How can I reduce my environmental footprint? You can recycle, use reusable items, and conserve energy. How often should you exercise to maintain good health? It's recommended to engage in at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity exercise per week. How far does light travel in 1 second? Light travels approximately 186,282 miles in 1 second. How was your trip to the mountains? It was incredible. The views were breathtaking and I had a great time hiking. How will you celebrate your birthday this year? I'm planning a small gathering with close friends. How did you know that I love chocolate cake? You mentioned it during a conversation a while back. How many sides does a hexagon have? A hexagon has 6 sides. How do you like your coffee in the morning? I like my coffee with a splash of cream and a bit of sugar. How is glass made? Glass is made by melting silica sand, soda ash, and limestone at high temperatures to form a liquid that is then cooled and solidified. How is sound produced? Sound is produced by vibrations that create pressure waves in the air, which our ears detect as sound. How easy is it to grow herbs in a home garden? Growing herbs in a home garden is fairly easy, even for beginners. How about going for a hike this weekend? That sounds like a great idea. I'd love to spend time outdoors. How much sugar do you need for the recipe? You'll need half a cup of sugar. How can I improve my concentration while studying? You can create a distraction-free environment and take regular breaks. How many continents are there on Earth? There are 7 continents on Earth. How do you stay motivated to achieve your goals? I set small milestones and reward myself when I accomplish them. How was your experience at the new restaurant? It was wonderful. The food was delicious and the atmosphere was cozy. How much water should you drink in a day? It's recommended to drink about 8 glasses or 2 litres of water daily. How slow is the internet connection in this area? The internet connection is quite slow, which can be quite frustrating. How did you know how to fix the car's engine? I learned about it through online tutorials and some trial and error. How do you like your new haircut? I love it. It's a refreshing change and I feel great with this new style. How does photosynthesis work? Photosynthesis is the process by which plants convert sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide into glucose and oxygen. How can I start a daily exercise routine? You can choose an activity you enjoy and set aside a specific time each day. How could I learn to cook gourmet meals? You could take cooking classes and experiment with new recipes. How difficult is it to learn to play the violin? Learning to play the violin can be quite difficult due to the complexity of the instrument. How about trying that new Italian restaurant? I'm up for it. Let's give it a try and see how the food is. How will you approach the upcoming exam? I'll review my notes and practice solving sample questions. How long have you known each other? We've been friends for over a decade. How come you didn't finish the project on time? There were unexpected complications that delayed the process. How was your first day at the new job? It went really well. My colleagues were welcoming and I learned a lot. How can I get over my fear of public speaking? You can practice and gradually expose yourself to speaking in front of small groups. How fast do commercial jets usually fly? Commercial jets typically fly at cruising speeds of around 500 to 600 miles per hour. How did you know that today is my birthday? I saw it on social media and thought of surprising you. How did you discover your passion for photography? I experimented with photography during a trip and found it incredibly fulfilling. How do you manage stress during busy times? I practice mindfulness techniques and take short breaks to relax. How tall is the tallest building in your city? The tallest building in my city is about 541 meters tall. How quickly do plants grow in the spring? Plants can grow quite rapidly in the spring, often visibly changing within a week. How do you like your new apartment? I really like it. It's spacious and the location is convenient. How about taking a cooking class together? That sounds fun. Learning to cook a new dish would be a great experience. How come you changed your mind about the trip? After considering the costs, I thought it might be better to save the money. How can I become a better listener? You can practice active listening and avoid interrupting others. How was the concert last night? It was amazing. The band played all their hits and the crowd was amazing. How much time do you spend on your hobbies? I usually dedicate about 2 hours a day to my hobbies. How big is the challenge of reducing plastic waste globally? The challenge of reducing plastic waste globally is immense and requires collective efforts. How come you're so skilled at playing chess? I've been playing since I was a child and practiced a lot. How did you know that I was interested in painting? I saw you admiring paintings at the art gallery last week. How long does it take to learn a new instrument? It varies, but on average, it might take a few months to a year. How long can you store leftovers in the refrigerator? Leftovers can generally be stored safely in the refrigerator for 3 to 4 days. How did you come up with that creative idea? I brainstormed with a team and drew inspiration from various sources. How do you apply for a job? Prepare a resume, write a cover letter, and submit them to potential employers. How come you're not attending the party? I have a prior commitment that evening. How different is the culture in the city compared to the countryside? The culture in the city and countryside can be very different due to various factors. How does a seismometer measure earthquakes? Seismometers detect and record ground movements caused by seismic waves during an earthquake, providing data for analysis. How could I improve my public speaking skills? You could practice regularly and join a speaking club. How about watching a movie tonight? Sure, that sounds like a relaxing way to spend the evening. How do you like the book you're reading? I'm enjoying it. The plot is engaging and the characters are well developed. How did you know that I needed help with my homework? You seemed a bit overwhelmed, so I thought I'd offer assistance. How much time do you spend on social media each day? On average, I spend about 1 to 2 hours on social media. How long does it take to get to your workplace? It takes me about 30 minutes to commute to work. How much paint is required for the entire room? Approximately 2 gallons of paint should be enough. How do you stay organized with your work and personal tasks? I use a digital planner and prioritize tasks based on deadlines. How do you make a paper airplane that flies far? Use a design that features a pointed nose, straight body, and wings that angle slightly upward. Fold and adjust carefully for best results. How did you know that I was looking for a job? You mentioned it in passing during our last conversation. How does a compass work? A compass needle aligns with the Earth's magnetic field, pointing toward the magnetic North Pole, which helps determine direction. How much money should I save each month? It's a good idea to save around 20% of your income. How quickly can you solve a Rubik's Cube? I can solve a Rubik's Cube in about 10 minutes. How long is the flight from New York to London? The flight from New York to London takes approximately 7 to 8 hours. How is she adjusting to life in the new city? She's settling in nicely and exploring her new surroundings. How does gravity work? Gravity is a force that pulls objects with mass towards each other. The strength of the force depends on the masses and the distance between them. How strange is it to have two people with the same birthday in a small group? It's statistically strange, but it does happen more often than we might think. How easy is it to set up a wireless printer? Setting up a wireless printer has become much easier with improved technology. How is he handling the recent changes in his life? He's adapting well and maintaining a positive attitude. How slow does traffic move during rush hour? Traffic during rush hour can move very slowly due to congestion. How did you know that I was feeling down today? I could tell from your tone of voice when we spoke earlier. How did you handle the unexpected challenges during the project? We adapted by reassessing our approach and seeking input from team members. How big is the impact of climate change on polar ice caps? The impact of climate change on polar ice caps is significant and concerning. How does the human digestive system work? The digestive system processes food by breaking it down with enzymes and acids, absorbing nutrients in the small intestine, and eliminating waste. How different are the tastes of the two dishes you ordered? The tastes of the two dishes are very different. One is spicy and the other is sweet. How does a stethoscope work? A stethoscope transmits sound waves from the chest to the listener's ears, allowing them to hear internal body sounds like the heartbeat. How much sugar is in that soft drink? The soft drink contains approximately 39 grams of sugar. How did you learn to play the guitar so well? I took lessons for a few years and practiced regularly. How much money should you save for emergencies? Financial experts recommend having 3 to 6 months' worth of living expenses saved. How long does it take to bake a cake? Baking a cake usually takes around 30 to 45 minutes in the oven. How did you manage to finish reading that book so quickly? I set aside dedicated time each day to read and got engrossed in the story. How heavy is the dumbbell you're lifting? I'm lifting a dumbbell that weighs 20 pounds. How do you stay focused while working on a challenging project? I break the project into smaller tasks and maintain a structured schedule. How about joining the fitness class at the gym? I've been thinking about it. Maybe I'll give it a shot and see if I like it. How are your studies going? They're going well. I've been keeping up with my assignments. How do you make popcorn? Heat kernels in a pot with oil until they pop, then season with salt or other flavours. How is he recovering after the surgery? His recovery is going smoothly and he's following the doctor's advice. How is she balancing her family and work commitments? She's managing both aspects admirably, but it can be challenging at times. How do you tie a tie? Start with the wide end of the tie on your right, the narrow end on your left. Cross the wide end over the narrow end, then tuck it behind and through the loop. Pull tight and adjust.